Hey everybody, welcome back to the Toy Duo Team.
When you have a plastic addiction and your shelves are overflowing, when you don't know what new is coming, but you fear you might miss out, just sit right back, just relax and watch and listen. The Toy Duo Team brings you what you need. The toy news you didn't know you needed.
Do we really need to watch all of that? I keep
Yes,
wanting
every time, man, because you always like
I keep
the cliffhanger at the end of your favorite show.
I keep wanting to shorten it because man, it just feels like it's just way too long. It's a minute and 6 seconds, and I'm like, no, I can't do a minute and 6 seconds anymore. I got to do like 20 seconds at the 30 seconds at the most. It's getting on my nerves a little bit. But anyways, I guess we're back. It's back. It's been a couple of weeks, right, since we've been on. Let's say hi to Gary's Grills, David R is here, Mr. B, Dandy's in the chat. He's right here too. Danbury Easter Egg, Bender Rodriguez. Did I say Gap? And let's see, Eric's in there making comments. And I'm sure some other people will jump in here in a minute. But let's just see how everybody's doing. How you guys been?
All right.
Not good.
Yeah,
Except he's not.
Not good, Bob. Sorry, I just think of that Mad Men meme with the one guy in the elevator. Yeah, I messed up my back real bad. Yeah.
Oh no, that's not good. You good now though?
Good enough to be on here.
Ready to go outside and play some catch?
No. Yeah.
All right. So Dan's here. He's in the. Is that a basement, by the way?
Yes.
Wow. You know, we don't have basements out here in
We
California.
don't either.
Why?
I have no idea. It's the weirdest thing. Like when you have when I always hear like, oh, I got this basement, you know, and then I'm like, oh, well, we have never had basements. I've never lived in a house that had a basement.
Like your area, or
Yeah, I don't know of one house that has a basement.
it's crazy.
Yeah, same with Florida. Yeah, no one has a
Yeah,
basement.
it's banned because it's all swamp.
Yeah, it's all sand and swamp. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's kind of interesting to think about. Now, I have seen these little underground bunkers that people have put in their yards, but I think those are left over from like the 60s.
Gotcha.
There are new ones. I mean, people there are like doomsday preppers that build those bunkers and make them all real fancy and whatnot. I've seen like people in like on YouTube make real fancy ones that have like you could have lived down there for like 50 years or whatever.
Right. Oh, interesting. Yeah.
See, I think for Florida, it could be done nowadays
He doesn't
because
sleep in a basement. That he doesn't sleep.
yeah,
in it.
he's.
That's how he gets his muscle.
I think nowadays it could be done because they have better waterproofing and better. Because I guess like back in the day, a lot of basements were like concrete brick walls, and the water will seep through that. So in Florida, your basement would flood all the time if you had one. So there's no point in having a basement because the water table is so close to the ground level that it would be constantly. But now they could put that plastic inside and it would be all waterproofed. You know what I mean? And I think you could do it nowadays. Yeah.
Bender's with you. He said,
What?
I said, Bender's with you. He said he's never seen one either.
Yeah, never seen a basement.
I wonder if that's because of the earthquakes more than
possible. I mean, but the thing is like so when we were shopping around for homes, we actually went to a house, and in the backyard there was one of those. It was like a concrete room. It was like 16 feet by 20 feet, and it was underneath the backyard. And there was like a hole. It didn't have like a doorway or anything. It was just open, and it had like a little 3-foot wall, and then there was like a ladder so you can climb down in there. And just because, you know, potential buyers wanted to see what they were going to be buying. And I started thinking like, well, I don't know what this was for. But then when the realtor, I think, said something like it was around since like the 60s when they were building like bomb shelters and stuff like that. So I can see that. Right.
That's the first thing that I thought of. Like, I mean, think of all the movies that you see with houses in basement. They're in California. So they obviously are shooting off, right? Not shooting locally. They're offset, but I never
Yeah,
thought of
See, I there wasn't any in Seattle, and I always was told it was because the bedrock is so close to the surface that no one wants to blast through all the hard stone to make a basement
it could be. It could be.
because it's basically a mountain, you know.
Yeah. Anyways, it's interesting. I like the fact that you guys got those basements where you can set up all your stuff. I wish I kind of had one. I don't build one under here, but me
I
and
had one growing up in New York, but it was haunted and evil, so no one went down there.
John are like relegated to like having these second story rooms,
Yeah.
you know, and stuff like that. But anyways, Stegosaura John, is there some dinosaur thing coming out, or is it because you found a bunch of clearance dinosaurs at Target?
No, it's just that I'm in the dinosaur room today.
Oh, okay.
Above me,
The
head.
dinosaur. Do you guys all have a separate room for each type of your collection? Like, I'm in the Marvel Legends room.
The Marvel Legends area is over there. Like, there you go.
Oh, so when you sit in front of there, you just call that the Marvel Legends room?
Yeah, if I sit
Okay.
over there, yeah.
All right. Anyways,
I actually have a weird problem here. So I have two of these bookcases full of Marvel Legends. Then there's one with the G.I. Joes, one with the Cobras when you turn the corner. So basically two with G.I. Joe. And then there's two Star Wars. Over there, it took 3 to fill up to do Transformers. And then I have 2 for He-Man Origins. And there's one empty one that I'm building. I got to put on the end down there. Well, I still have a lot of Black Series sitting here. So I'm kind of like, do I put these Black Series in the one way on the end and then they're not near the Black Series? You know what I mean? And I don't have enough to fill up 2 for Origins. So if I take those and put the Star Wars over there won't be enough room because technically I guess what happens is I need 3 for Star Wars. And the problem I'm having is there's 3 sets of 3 and then one by itself. So you
sorry,
need
John. I'm not laughing at your story. I'm laughing at something else. So, you ever been somewhere where you're like looking in the kitchen of somebody and you're trying to find a coffee cup in the cabinets, and you're looking in the cabinets and the person's sitting on the other side of the room, and then they start pointing and they're like, oh, the coffee cups are right over there, right up there. But there's no way you could see them pointing because you have your back turned to them.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing. Yeah, it's over. Yeah.
It's like pointing out a star to somebody. It's inside. That one up there.
Yeah, yeah, it's right next to the other 2 stars.
Yeah.
Next to the Big Dipper.
The bottom line is one of the collections has to be split, and I don't know which one to split. That's the bottom line.
Why don't you just split the 2 collections and then put it together?
I feel your pain though, John, because I had the same thing. I ran out of Marvel Legends. So you said Marvel Legends room. I have a room of Marvel Legends.
Yeah.
And when they started pumping them out, and that was already pretty close to full. And then when they started pumping them out, a few years ago, with all the MCUs and everything else, I had to bleed over into half of this room, and then a quarter of the other room. So,
you're like, they're not all together in one spot. It's weird.
No,
Yeah.
It drives me nuts because when I want to check on the collection, I got to go to 3 different rooms. First world problems, I know, but
right. Dino needs some abatement for his basement with asbestos. Bender's telling me that I can go to Virginia and I can buy a house with a basement for a quarter of the price that I can buy a house for in California.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Actually, Dino's fine because he says he lives in a house of asbestos, not asbestos.
Oh, okay.
Not asbestos.
All right. Well, at least we know spelling is not a problem here. All right. Anyways, here is the crowdfund update that you guys did not know you needed. We'll go through a little bit.
You needed that you didn't know you needed.
Like I said, spelling is not an issue that any of us have here.
This
Anyway,
is
so
all
this-
AI.
Yeah, we did it
The
all.
stream is AI generated
Yeah,
in real time.
all right.
Yeah.
So the question, are you backing? No, because this is closed. It was one of the highest funding HASLABs ever for a property that John knew nothing about prior
Yep.
to it launching.
exactly.
And luckily, everybody gets a stand.
All right.
Yeah.
Two
Yay.
weird weapons and an extra robot.
The Liokaiser. Who backed it?
Nope.
No.
Negative.
I think it's an interesting thing because I think it had like worldwide appeal after seeing how well it
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
But I don't think that there's going to be that big of a resale market on it, just because I think that a lot of people probably bought into it thinking they could resell it later. But I was wrong because I honestly didn't think this was going to do as well as it did.
I figured there was still a niche fan.
Yeah, I figured that amongst this group, like one person would have backed the thing, right? Like, because I always feel like, oh, it's a pretty good litmus of the collecting audience or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised that nobody did, and it did so well. So we're way off base.
I like combiners, but I just was weirded out by the idea that this is only about 12 inches tall when it's combined.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
It seemed awful small to me because most of the other combiners are, well, I mean, there's a lot of them that are 14 inches, 18 inches, but some of them are freaking 2 feet tall. You know what I mean? So
Right.
they're Titan sized. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
and part of the reason I didn't get this one is that I'm already locked into getting the new Devastator. Like 3 or 4 parts are coming, and then the aerial bots are coming, and just the body of the aerial bot is $80, the main part. So I've already got my money locked into 2 other combiners coming down the road, so I couldn't lock more money into this one as well. You know what I mean? I'd rather have the aerial bots than this one.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, like if you're already like picking another one up and that one's going to be kind of pricey, and then you're thinking like, well, yeah, I got to pick and choose.
And I think the aerial bots are going to be bigger, and
yeah,
by
I
the
couldn't
time
believe it's so small. Considering that like they had those Voltron figures, and that thing I think is much bigger, and that was like $100, $120 if you could find them, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. Anyways, all right. So here is the Space Zombies from Mars. It was 49% funded yesterday. I did not go look this morning. I imagine it's probably around the same as it was yesterday, where it's like halfway with a few days left. And we had Adam on. He talked about the Kickstarter, and I have my own concerns about the Kickstarter, and I think they sort of they either weren't 100% upfront, like when they were talking about it, or it sort of sabotaged itself in a way.
Yeah.
Just my opinion. I could be wrong, but the reason why I say that is because Big Bad Toy Store has all of the figures up for pre-order,
except for the glow in the dark one.
right? Because that's the exclusive.
Gotcha.
And the thing is that when Big Bad Toy Store puts out their social media posts, they're saying, "Hey, check this out! We got all the figures up on Kickstarter," but they're not saying they are dependent on the Kickstarter. You have to go to the listing where it says the following notices apply. Crowdfund disclaimer. Then you have to scroll all the way to the bottom where it says additional details, and it says this funded project. If the project fails to fully fund, it may not be produced.
You just think Big Bad should have had Big Bad Toy Store hold off on the listings until the campaign ended?
I think that like there are so many people there are so many people that left comments and stuff like that I read that were like, oh, this is great because now I don't have to like pay up front, because at Kickstarter they take your money and then you got to wait 2 years. They're saying I don't have to pay until they're getting ready to ship the figures. But the problem is you do that pre-order and you don't back, you just took a backer away. Yeah, I think they totally should have waited on pre-orders.
Well, do they, or is what Big Bad's planning on doing is on the last day, totaling up, like say they sell 50 of Michael Locke there,
Maybe.
and they have 100 orders for Georgia McBride. Are they just going to go in and go, we need 100 and add them to the Kickstarter?
Okay, so
Maybe.
no, because
So.
what Adam said, if you remember when he was on, he said they had talked to like Big Bad Toy Store ahead of time and said, hey, how many would you guys be interested in if we fund this thing? And they gave them a number. And then they did that calculation and they subtracted that amount from what they needed
to buy. But okay, I got
right?
you.
Oh,
So
okay.
to me,
All right.
they made the Kickstarter only 118,000 or whatever based on
because
Big Bad promising that they would buy these additional figures. And then he went through that whole thing talking about how it was more expensive, you know, to sell to a retailer and stuff like that. And then the profit margin was much less and stuff like that. Let's see. I want to see what people have to say about it. Anybody? Let's see.
I
Big
use
Bad,
PayPal.
they charge for pre-orders.
I use PayPal. They don't charge me till it's in Big Bad Toy Store's hands. Because like my stuff goes in the pile of loot, so I can save on shipping.
Yeah.
And they and I only buy from Big Bad what I can't get somewhere else because they are always a little bit more
Marked
expensive
up.
by $1 or $2, you know.
Yeah. So
it's not a lot that I get, but I also do wait until there's 3 or 4 items.
Big Bad won't let you cancel your pre-order once it gets into your pile of loot.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, if it's an expensive item, they take like or an international, like some like the Mazinger or whatever, they take like a deposit in some of those cases. But yeah, I think that like they sort of either they weren't completely forthcoming and whatever Big Bad sells will get added and help them fund, or it's kind of like a sabotage in a way, you know, to launch the pre-orders ahead of time. Because there's a lot of people that are willing to like pre-order but don't want to back a Kickstarter.
Yeah, I agree. I think that so if that's the case, I think it did mess up the Kickstarter because I don't think it's going to fund now.
Yeah, so when they put this up, I actually responded. I put a comment saying, hey, you know, if these they're going to cancel these if you don't back the Kickstarter. And I've done it like every time I see them make a post, but like nobody ever notices the comment. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think it would have behooved Big Bad Toy Store to say, hey, we got these pre-orders from Space Zombies, but make sure you go back to Kickstarter if you want these things to be available.
I'm sure there are people that aren't reading the fine print, but at the same time, I think if like you're already shopping at Big Bad Toy Store, you're like a niche toy collector, and you're probably already aware of the details around this, I would think. So I'm sure there are some people that fall into that category, Vern, but I'm sure there are also people who are well aware of what they're doing.
It kind of sucks because to me this was a really cool concept, and you know, I just think that like, you know, there are people that went and backed it by pre-ordering, but you know, if they had backed it, they might have been much higher than this 49%.
Yeah. Hope it works out for them. They look cool.
The other thing that I thought was interesting is if you went to the Kickstarter and you looked at Guy Garrison, he's still got some stuff that's like grayed out or blacked out where you can't see what it is. But if you go to the Big Bad Toy Store listing, the full image is there.
That's right. Yeah.
So you could see what the accessory was that he was supposed to come with. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But was anybody interested in these, John? Were you gonna?
Well, I got the glow in the dark one. Yeah.
I think that was a good move, just to like secure it if it backs, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I think I did that one, and then the guy with the jetpack, the actual dude with the jetpack. This guy in the front. Can't remember his name.
Yeah, the red one, right?
Yeah. But anyways, let's see.
I like the one with the white space outfit too, but I don't have enough to get 2 figures, so I just thought I'd go for the glow in the dark.
Right.
I like glow in the dark.
Yeah, I agree with Jonathan a little bit. Sometimes when you're pre-ordering stuff, it's kind of nice to like be done with the idea of it so that like when it's ready to ship, it just ships. You don't have to worry about having to like manage stuff. You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah.
You see something
haven't-
get charged and you're trying to tie it out to what was on your like list
Yeah.
for pre-order, and was it the right? Did I get charged properly?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I did not see that Space 1999 ship. Is that like a 1/18th scale?
Yeah, I don't know.
The Eagle.
I never
whatever
saw
is.
it either. I was looking at Gap talking about it.
I think we saw a picture of it once where they were coming out with it, and yeah, it was going to be like expensive, but I can't imagine a 1/18th scale ship being $500. I mean, what does it come with? A gold bar?
Autograph, maybe?
Does it
John,
come with
I'm
actual-
digging the pajama pants.
Masks. Yeah, my Disney pants. Yeah.
I just saw Minnie Mouse pop up. I'm like, what the hell is that? Oh, that's John's knee.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So wait, Gap is saying it's a full-scale Space 1999 ship.
Full scale.
Where
You
am
mean I
I
got
gonna?
to put it in my driveway? Like
I gotta
how
put
am
my
I gonna?
house inside of this thing.
Yeah, like well, full scale would mean to take up like 3 yards, right? The neighbors, the next one down. Sorry, we got to demolish everybody's house. I bought the Space 1999 ship.
Oh, it's probably what he means is it's designed to be proper scale for what it was supposed to have been.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I
it's
think
probably
Jonathan's saying the figures are mask size, so 2.5 inches.
yeah, so probably the size. It's still the size of your house then.
Yeah, yeah, it's like you know what I'm talking about. Stop it.
All right. Move on. This is the section where we talk about TV and movie news you did not know you needed. Is anybody watching anything they want to talk about before I get into the little slide where I'm going to show off a couple of things?
I finished Reacher. I thought season 3 was all right.
I love the fight scene where
Yeah.
I'm glad that it didn't just make it like a 3-minute fight scene, right? That it carried on and carried over into like multiple locations.
Yeah.
The big fight, and
the big
it was
dude?
pretty realistic. The camera angles kept cracking me up, though. The perspective. Are you guys watching Reacher?
No.
Dan, Eric?
We're gonna binge it. We have some.
Oh,
days
I'm
off
sorry.
next week,
I just
so
gave it away.
I mean, I knew that, but you didn't spoil anything. I know there was a fight scene. It's Reacher.
You know, there's going to be a fight scene in Reacher, right?
Yeah.
Big surprise.
You know what I'm talking about? Once you see once you see the person that he's going to have to go up against, you got to wait for. Yeah. There's like a size difference and stuff, but I did like the camera angles. Daredevil. What do you guys liking it?
Yeah.
Oh, I've liked it so far, but I got last week and then this week to watch. But we can't. When I'm up at the house, I can't watch Disney Plus because it started doing that. Are
You're
you
not in
changing
your
your
own house?
household? Why aren't you at home? You know what I mean? Like
Oh
things.
yeah.
Oh,
But can't you, like, when you're at your house, download the episodes and then take them on your device with you?
yes.
Well, not if they come while I'm here. If they come out while
that
I'm
makes
here,
sense.
do you know what
Okay.
I mean?
Yeah. Well, I wonder if you could.
I actually don't. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
know.
are you talking about logging in through a TV? Because I mean, you're not downloading.
Yeah,
grabbing-
we have them all logged in through the TVs here
Yeah.
at the house. But I see what you're saying. Maybe get the iPad.
Download
and
the episode
it
and then
from-
just
because the
AirPlay it.
iPad, I think you can.
AirPlay.
You might be able to get it. Yeah, and then AirPlay it. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't try it. I'll try it.
I mean, if nothing else, I don't have that problem, but it might be worth calling up their support to just say like, I switch between living in two places, so
I
I'm
have
not
in
trying
both.
to share
Yeah.
passwords.
I have in both Disney and Netflix say you're only allowed one household, one address per account. They said we can give you. They both Netflix and Disney Plus are the only two apps that do this, and they both say we can give you a discounted rate for your second home, like a half price.
That's bogus.
But yeah, they won't do it. They won't let it done for free. And Netflix lets you at least say I'm on vacation or something, so you can kind of get around it. But the Disney one says, warning, if you change households like more than 2 or 3 times, whatever one you last changed to is where it will be permanently stuck at after you change. You know what I mean? So
Right.
you'd
Subscriptions.
probably have to call. You'd probably have to call and reset it again. You know what I mean?
I'm curious about the timeline. So if somebody knows what the timeline is, because I'm thinking that this Daredevil Born Again has to be way before She-Hulk.
Interesting.
I don't
Because
know. I don't think so. I would assume it takes place after.
here's why I think that, though. At the beginning of Daredevil Born Again, so first episode, shouldn't be a spoiler to anybody. He's wearing the same red standard Daredevil outfit, but in the She-Hulk, he was wearing that like yellow.
The
Mustard.
yellow, that's right.
Mustard
And
and red.
so-
Yeah.
He
What?
could have went back to red because the
Yeah.
yellow one came at the end of
Did it?
yeah. Was it
Oh, season
Defenders
3.
or season 3? Yeah, because the Defenders and then season 3. Yeah, the end of season 3.
Oh,
Remember the guy that was making and the yellow was sitting there.
Oh, you know what? Okay, then I missed that. So in my mind, he hasn't went and picked up the yellow one yet.
No, you see the yellow when he goes up to the rooftop.
Oh, the roof. Is it in there? The yellow one?
Yeah, the yellow one's there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then maybe because I was like, why isn't she going to show up or whatever? But Jonathan, yeah, he's also confirming with you guys that it's set after She-Hulk.
I saw set leaks from Daredevil season 2, Born Again. I'm not sure if it will be called Born Again season 2, but the second Disney Plus season.
Okay.
And he's wearing the black outfit with the DD on it. That looks so cool. Oh,
Right.
That looks awesome.
Oh my gosh. All right.
And I'm sure we're going to get more Daredevil figures revealed with the Legends stream on Tuesday.
Oh,
I
that's an
imagine.
April Fool's joke.
Well, I saw it was April Fool's, and I'm like, it could be.
They're gonna reveal a whole bunch of stuff, and then at the very end, they're gonna say, "April Fools, we're not making any of this because we lost the Marvel license to McFarlane."
Yeah, they're just
Well, I
gonna
don't know.
show.
I'm just
They're
messing
they're
around.
just gonna have a stream of chairs for 5 hours. Jesus Christ!
That was the most
I seriously want to sock whoever came up with that idea at Marvel. I want to sock them in the face. That was what a waste of time and money. Not just on their side, but like, can you imagine how much like time and money was wasted globally with people just tuning in, waiting for a new chair to be revealed?
Or
Every,
it was
like,
the
15, 20
smartest
minutes.
thing ever because then they just had people keep coming back to their social media platform to like view the chairs.
So stupid.
I just
So
went to like
stupid.
Screen Rants or whatever and just read the list. All right. Anyways, the TV and movie news. This is what I'm watching, anyways. Did you guys see The Electric State on Netflix?
Oh yeah, that
No,
one.
I heard-
I like that one.
Oh, really? That's the Chris Pratt one.
Yes. Yeah.
Mm-mm. No.
Okay.
Yeah, with the robots, it was cool.
Okay, so they did a little. There's supposedly a little show coming out. I've seen some little clips, and it's like Chris Pratt and the Millie Brown or whatever, and they're showing off all these like 80s technology things, and she's trying to guess which ones do what. And the clip I saw is he basically tells her, "This is how you would listen to your music," and so she picks like the telephone answering machine. And he goes, "No, that's wrong." And he picks up the Walkman. And all I kept thinking about was that just tells me she didn't bother watching Guardians of the Galaxy.
The movie, yeah.
Yeah.
She's I used to want like several years ago I wanted to see her play like young Leia in Star Wars and do some
But
other
not
things,
anymore.
because I really like Stranger Things, but I watched that YouTube show Hot Ones, and on the video or on the episode where she was the guest eating hot wings, she came off like such an airhead. I just can't stand I refuse to watch anything she's in now. It's so bad.
Right. All right. Did you guys watch Kraven the Hunter, the big Marvel bash from 2023?
I gave it a shot and it was comically bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't understand. I just was like, what are they doing?
I
Yeah.
thought it was hard.
So what I did was I did my standard fast forward until I got to like the
Like-
action scenes.
Like I can't even remember what happened at the end.
And it
I was
was-
just so out of it by then.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I did the thing where every time there was like conversation going on, I just like kind of fast forwarded to the next action scene. And every once in a while I would stop for like maybe 30 seconds and listen to the dialogue of the conversation. Then I would fast forward. And I think I was able to get the entire story and just enjoy like the action scenes. I think I watched the movie in like maybe 37 minutes or something like that. And
Yeah.
from that perspective, I was like, hey, it wasn't that bad.
Yes, that's one way to do it.
Yeah.
I didn't understand. So the rhino though, in that,
Right?
because didn't
Yeah.
they wasn't
Kinda
Paul Giamatti or whatever, wasn't
Paul
he Rhino?
Giamatti, yeah. Yeah, but that was in the Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, so that's a different universe. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense. All right, and then are you guys watching the show called The Residents? If you like mystery, like Murder She Wrote, Columbo,
No.
Death on the Nile, any of those types of movies, and you like comedies, I think this one's really good.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't watched it. I just
There's
finished the season finale of Mythic Quest on Apple.
Okay. They have a
That was good.
spinoff, right? They have a spinoff for that Mythic.
Side Quest. I haven't started watching that. That premiered like this week with the season finale.
Yeah. So The Residents is kind of quirky, right? The detective's really quirky, but like I'll just tell you my favorite line in the whole thing. She's telling the FBI guy she's about to interrogate somebody, and she's like, I'm gonna ask the questions, I don't want you to say anything. And then she looks at him and she goes, but if you do have a question, I want you to try really, really hard to keep it to yourself. I was just like rolling. I was like, okay, this show's for me. All right. I guess I'm the only one.
I haven't
On
watched
that
it.
one, yeah.
It's on
All right.
Netflix. Netflix.
What?
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. I think all of those are. Okay, so a little bragging you didn't know you needed. Does anybody have anything they want to show off this week?
I can rapid fire through some stuff.
Go ahead. I don't have anything to.
All right. So
I've been waiting.
this goes back a few weeks. I don't know what happened in my original one, but when they revealed the TVC Deluxe MoMA Nadon Hammerhead, I was pissed that they gave him the big like double barrel blaster that they had in Power of the Force 2. So I'm like, screw it. I got this off eBay so that I could give this to my Black Series one, and I'll just put the other one somewhere else.
It actually looks like it's going to work well for that Black Series.
Yeah, I've seen other people. I've seen other people use this blaster on the Black Series. So I'm just
Because that is a big gun for him, and that.
Yeah. Also some TVC. I've got IG-12 and Grogu and Zelen.
Nope.
Yep. Or a Sing. I just wanted to fill out with fill the.
Nice one.
Cell bar.
It's not going to be the Cantina when
the
that
Cantina.
comes. Even though I know she's dead at that point in the timeline, but I also got because what Beckett killed her from Solo. We got Commander Bakara, Savage Opress.
I would like to have Savage, but he's sold out every time we're down here.
I got this guy from Amazon and two more. Kelnaka and Prince
Oh,
Gisor.
Zizor is good. Yeah, I like Zizor.
This lightsaber is huge. I also have Balin Skull's lightsaber, but I haven't unboxed that yet, and that's upstairs. So,
All right.
so that's it.
Dan, do you have anything?
My Animals of the Kingdom.
Ooh, that's right. You got those after we cut out the last time, didn't you? And you
Later-
still haven't opened them?
Huh?
You still haven't opened them?
No, not yet. That's the 8th guy.
Oh,
mongrel. I think.
Wow.
Is that like a hyena or
Those are
something,
really
or
cool, actually.
or a,
What it looks like. And then
is that like
nice.
Black
Oh, I like
Panther?
his armor. I like the gold.
yeah,
It looks like, yeah, it looks like Black Panther with the.
But
gold
that's a
armor.
monkey. That's like a gorilla.
Is that a monkey? Oh, the face looked like a cat.
I thought it was a cat too.
yeah. Well, some of them are like this.
Yeah, it's hard to see with the.
It does look more feline, but it is a
Yeah.
Okay. I see it now. I just didn't see the like mouth, the snout kind of come out more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it now.
So again,
good accessory and good outfits.
so I just want, now that I have you on full screen and I'm not wearing my glasses so I can see more clearly, there's a box on the ground over by the wall, and it looks like there's something in front of the door.
Yeah, there is.
Looks like the cat puked in front of the door.
No, not today. No.
No, that was just Dan.
I'm not saying anything about the box because I'm not one to talk. I mean, if I look down here, I got a bunch of boxes. I'm just worried about the tripping hazard.
Tripping
at the
hazard.
door.
Yeah, no, I would never let a tripping hazard go. That I believe is somebody's still doing laundry. And
Oh,
probably-
okay. I was gonna say that could be an OSHA violation.
Yep. And then the box is actually up against. I just need to tap it, and it goes up against the shelf. There's a shelf down there.
Mm.
Oh, I see.
It's no longer a tripping hazard because it's above the.
Right. It's clearly out of the path anyways. You still have looks like 19 to 20 inches of clear walkway. I'm just
Sure.
the one thing just don't, just know there's something in front of the door if you go walking that way.
I'll try not to.
How's it going?
All right. Oh, what do you he's like, I'm gonna turn my so you can't see that. Anyways, I picked up I got this over the week, so I was pretty happy with it for the most part. A couple of things I didn't like about it, just to point it out, was I didn't like the peg for the head. I think is a little bit too long. It's that little ball peg, so I think if I swap it out, I might be able to get get it to sit a little bit lower. But overall, I thought it was pretty good. It didn't perfectly match like the pictures on the promo pictures, but I think overall it still looks pretty decent.
How long was that on pre-order?
I'm sorry.
How long did you have that on pre-order?
I want to say like at least five or 6 months, maybe a little bit longer.
I thought you already had that. It's been so long since we talked about it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I thought it dropped like a long time.
You know, it might have been a long time. At Boss Fight Studios, and I just lost track. I guess it was with Big Bad, so I was just not paying that much attention to it. The ones that I feel like have taken the longest are that big gigantic bear from Mythic Legions. I can't remember.
Wow.
Yeah, man, I can't believe that's still like out there on our pre-order. That is not. Anyways, KCC Toys jumped in there. Judge Dreads. Do we say hi to Bender Rodriguez? Dino was here for a little bit. If he's still driving. Jonathan Redmond jumped in there. Mr. B, I think we said hi to. I'm just scrolling back up. G-Force. Okay, I'm pretty sure I missed people, but I'm sorry about that.
I'm still waiting for my Revo 01.
Your what?
You got your van, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh,
Red
you haven't gotten it yet?
Oh, and I ordered 2 of them.
Okay, so here's what I heard or read somewhere on one of their posts. So they were producing them, and instead of waiting for the complete production run to end and then to pack it and ship it, they did it in batches. They shipped it in batches. So I'm pretty sure they came across on a boat, right, into probably the Gulf there in Texas or whatever. So I think that they shipped them in batches. So of course there was a cutoff, and then second group, third group. So I don't know when that third group is. Anyways,
They're not waiting until all of them are around like they do with HASLabs now. Yeah.
right.
Let's get these out. We got them in production. Here's a certain set number. We got to 25 made or whatever.
Yeah. And to me, I think the only real fair way to do that is to, if that's the way you're gonna do it, is to ship an order in the order that orders were received.
Right. And do you have a way to even track that?
Right. You don't really, right? It's just arbitrary. So they probably went by alphabetical order.
Mhm.
So the cutoff was V. No.
Month
my,
and-
my last name's pretty early in the alphabet, so that's why I said that. All right, so let's see.
You're not that far ahead of me.
I know we're close.
So early cutoff.
Okay, this is WonderCon weekend, right? WonderCon. So I pulled some stuff. Oh, see you later.
Bye, Dan.
Hi. Let me put it back. Did you drop out by yourself?
My screen, did my screen go black? Was it just me? My camera didn't
You
cut
just
out?
dropped out.
Okay.
And I could still see you in there. So
Okay, yeah, not my actual screen, like my monitor, completely black. And I was
that's
clicking to try to get it back.
Video-
Was that?
Video card error.
No, I didn't get anything. I mean, it could be, but I just got nothing. So that was
maybe the spin cycle kicked in on the washing machine and power drained to the entire house.
it
Happens to
probably
me all the time.
Yep.
In one of my houses that we have up in Potrero, like when the dryer kicks on, it will pop the breaker sometimes.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't,
So I had to separate just that one line from everything else, even though it's not like a 110 or 220 or whatever. It was just the way it. Too much power on that one line.
I got
All right.
I can't have the microwave and the toaster. I can't.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
I have the same exact problem. I have microwave, toaster, and my wife's espresso machine all on the same. And if you do two of the three, then I have to go flip the breaker.
It'll pop every time. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I have a question before we get into the hot or not section. So I have a question. Apparently, there's a change to Galactic Universe at Disneyland or whatever they're calling it now.
Galaxy's Edge.
Yes. Is there a change?
So I can comment on this. I think that what we were having some of this in our group chat. So now they have Luke Skywalker at Disneyland, but they've also had like Boba Fett, Fennec Shand, like Din Djarin and Grogu and other characters
And
walking around, and the droids, they have the BDX droids roaming
yeah, but
around.
most of them were at Disneyland.
They're all at Disneyland. The only characters that walk around at Disney World are the First Order Stormtroopers, Kylo Ren, and V Marati, who's a character from the books, and then Chewbacca.
We met, but we bumped into Mandalorian with Grogu before
At Disney World.
Yeah, a couple of us bumped into.
Then maybe they were testing something, but they pretty much only have characters.
But he's the only one. Yeah.
So they pretty much only have characters at Disneyland. Those other characters at Disneyland. So they're pretty much like committing to walk back on the original vision of Galaxy's Edge, which was like a Groundhog's Day experience. In that, like when you go to Galaxy's Edge, it's the same day over and over again. And Batu, which takes place in between The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. So obviously Luke doesn't show up in his black outfit, whether it's from Return of the Jedi or from The Mandalorian in that time frame, because he's already a Force ghost by then.
Okay.
So basically, it's just weird that they're making like certain exceptions and bending their own rules for what they created for this immersive experience.
Do you think it has to do with like visitation or something like that? People are like, well, I mean, there's nothing really new to see. So they just go for the rides and they don't hang out. So they're trying to expand the experience.
I think ultimately I think they realized their lofty ambition for the vision of Galaxy's Edge was the wrong choice, and they're just doing whatever they can to attract new people to come into the parks. So that's
I have a hope for Disney World. I don't know what the setup is at Disneyland in California because I've never been, but here at Disney World, when you come into Hollywood Studios and you go to the left, you're going to run into the Ewok Village and an AT-AT, and that's Star
Star
Tours.
Tours. Yeah.
And then there's the shop, and then you go through a tunnel, and when you come out of the tunnel, there's a wing over to the right, a big blaster turret on the left, and
It's
then
the Rise of
there's
the Resistance.
and then there's an X-wing over there, and that is the Rise of the Resistance ride. Now my thing is I think that should be the sequel area. That should be for the sequels.
They're not gonna.
And you go through this promenade of like shops and stuff, and then down below is the Millennium Falcon. And in my opinion, where the Falcon is, it should be turned into the area for the original trilogy. Like that should be an original trilogy area. Because you wouldn't have to change anything. The Falcon could stay the same.
So
and then if you go around the corner and down the hall,
it's the First Order.
at the very end, there's a First Order section where they have a TIE Ravager or something,
Echelon
or whatever that is.
TIE Echelon. Yeah.
Now I think that ship should be removed. If you don't want to destroy it, put it to the front of the park where the Resistance stuff is, and have that be the sequel area. In that back corner where that ship is, put like a new something from the prequel era, and have that back area the prequels. So that way you could have all three eras in one park.
Yes, but they've pinned themselves into a corner with the way they designed. Well, they did have lofty ambitions for what they. Okay, set that aside. That comment aside for a moment, but they pinned themselves into a corner with what they decided to do. I've been noodling on some ideas for like a series.
Well, you wouldn't even have to change anything. You just move one ship and put a new ship in.
I disagree. I think there's too much that would need to be modified to accommodate that kind of outcome. I think the ideal scenario is something not what they ended up doing, which is taking like a moderate, just individual land-sized area and shoehorning Star Wars into it. I think what they should have done is just build a whole new park, maybe a smaller park, but a dedicated park for Star Wars where you can do something.
Because I really think the Falcon area, all you need to do is, because that's just a graphical ride. You know, just change the graphics on the ride.
Well, they are doing that. They are doing that.
Have Hondo say, well, you're going to be helping Chewie and Lando and Han out instead of helping Rey and whoever out, or whatever they have.
Well, no, the next one is helping out Din Djarin and Grogu, I believe.
Oh, there you go.
So they're switching.
And then you just have those characters walking around outside by the Falcon.
Because
you don't have to really change the setting at all. You know,
the original, like the current main ride for Smuggler's Run, where you're trying to steal the Coaxium, ties into the storyline for the Galactic Star Cruiser, which is no longer there.
No longer there. Yeah.
So I could go on this topic for ages, but I'll spare everyone the rant.
Because I was just thinking, like the Rise of the Resistance is pretty set in stone, so that has to be the sequel area. There's no way you can change that ride without spending a shitload of money. But I thought the Falcon, you can change that ride just like you change the Star Tours. It could be whatever you want. You know what I mean?
Because it's just a simulator.
It's just a film on a screen. You know what I mean? It's not really anything. Just like Star Tours, it's a film on a screen. So
they should have like an area where like you go up to like some door, go through it, right? And then you end up in like some sort of a transportation device. They could like modify like a van to make it look like a shuttle inside. Then they drive you to like some location where it's like a fully interactive like environment. And maybe you could stay there overnight.
I wonder how that would pan out.
Yeah.
So yeah, on this note, I may have hinted at this in our group chat, but I've been noodling on the idea of going back in time to when Disney buys Lucasfilm and says, like, okay, we want to do something more with the parks. What do we do? I want to like
Invent your own.
explore that thought. Say like, what do I like about the existing theme parks? What do I like about other theme parks? What would an ideal Star Wars experience look like? And then kind of come up with ideas on like what that would end up being. So maybe stay tuned. I just need some time to
Do you remember the people
flesh
mover?
that out.
Do you remember the people mover?
It's still there.
It's
We
still
don't
there.
have to
Yeah,
remember
of
it.
course.
Disneyland, I don't think it's still there, right?
It's there at our Magic Kingdom. Maybe not yours, but it's at ours.
Yeah, I don't think at Disneyland it's still there.
Did they
I
get
don't
rid of the
remember.
people mover at Disneyland?
I think so.
Okay.
But remember, it was like I remember there was a portion where you're in this thing and it's like you're racing like light cycles. You know, they're like riding up next to you, so they were like screens. So what if you got into like a ride like that, which was like it's a small world, you know, where you're going to be in there for like 10 minutes in the AC or something like that, but you're just traveling through every era of Star Wars.
Yeah, very calm and relaxing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be kind of cool. Steve-O, haven't seen him in a while.
What's up, Steve?
Hey.
How you doing?
Steve-O, Northern Nomad.
All right.
I really don't think they needed to close the hotel. I just think that I just can't believe they didn't go, it's not working as a premium experience that costs thousands of dollars. Let's just try a last ditch effort and let people come here for like $400 a night or something like that, and see if we can get enough people to sort of keep it going.
I agree with you.
And cut back a little bit on the story and the actors and how much we're spending to keep it going. Because even if there was nothing, like no immersive experience, just staying in a Star Wars themed room, because that's what you do for Pop Century and for
Legoland.
Like if you go to Legoland, but I mean, like at Disney World, they have Pop Century where you stay and there's like the pop culture stuff. Your room is themed it. The animation one, your room is themed like different animated movies. They don't have an immersive experience there. They just have the room themed like Little Mermaid or themed like Lion King, And so having it themed like Star Wars and just charging a certain amount and you can cut down on the immersive experience, I think still would have worked,
I was mainly wondering about this thing at Galaxy's Edge because I kind of heard about it. Then I started seeing the videos of the Luke Skywalker, and I started thinking like, were people like fake newsing video of some dude who was just dressed up in cosplay? That's what I felt like. I felt like, dude.
It's
and I was like,
real.
So they're really trying to pass that.
But they've been doing that a lot of the same kind of things in California Adventure in the Marvel area, where they do certain Marvel characters just for short periods of time. Like right. So
I get it, and they do the Rey and stuff like that. But because there's an iconic hairdo and stuff like that, it's a little bit. I think it's a little bit different, but it's tough when you're trying to take an iconic character like Luke, and say, But
they've been doing it with Marvel too.
I guess Hasbro does it with their action figures, so.
Ooh.
That's actually the guy they scanned.
Here is the hot or not section. This is your and our. Boy, I got to read these before I put them up next time. Your and our thoughts on the week's reveals you've been waiting for. That just does not sound good.
Say it again, one more time, really fast.
All right. Anyways, it is WonderCon weekend. So what I did was I actually pulled a bunch of stuff from people walking around at WonderCon. I didn't get anything really from today, but the first thing I wanted to show off is some of the stuff from Mondo. So it looks like there's going to be a 1/12 scale He-Man, and then you got the 1/6 scale She-Ra
with the horse. Look at that. Yeah.
And I took these pictures from Toy Bros.
Twitter. And there's 3 heads for the horse. Look at that.
Yeah. So it looks pretty cool. How much are those 1/12 scale Ghostbusters guys?
Like 100, I want to say. Aren't they? Like they have 2 different versions. They have one the pre-order with the like extra big ghost, and then they have the main release. I wish I could get those, but I don't have room in my collection.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out because I know those 1/6 scale Mondos are like, $250 or whatever. So I'm curious, like that He-Man's gonna be, right?
Crotch purse. Yeah, what is that for? You're
That's
right.
because he's from the 80s.
What is it? Why does he have a fanny pack? That doesn't make any sense.
That's
Yeah.
well, he's got to have somewhere to keep his money.
So the mainline ones are 101, and the ones with the extra big ghosts are 202.
Okay, okay, so possibly you're looking at like $100 for that He-Man. Yeah. All right.
I
So
really like
here's
the horse, man. That looks
the
great.
She-Ra. Yeah, that horse though is like going to be
300.
gigantic, right?
I know.
Because
Yeah.
I think
So-
this is for a 1/6 scale, so that's for a 12-inch action figure. You can get that and put your 12-inch GI Joes on that thing.
There you go.
The horse has like shoes, not like
I
normal
know,
horse
right?
shoes.
Like shoes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks
And
weird.
then it comes with the little miniatures. All right. I did not see the, maybe I did, the Skeletor render.
Who's the little rainbow bright guy? That's weird.
I
I don't remember him. Was he on the show with She-Ra?
I
He
don't
looks very
remember.
rainbow bright. Oh, that's the guy that hides. That's the guy that hides in every episode. And at the end, he goes, "Do you remember finding me? Did you find me today?"
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's who that is. Yeah,
I wouldn't know about that because I don't think I've ever seen the show.
yeah, because you don't watch cartoons.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, this is the Mana Faces
Yeah,
or
man.
Mini Faces. That's him. The 1/6 scale compared to the 112.
Good God.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Mondo's really trying to crank out some action figures.
They look great. They're expensive though.
Yeah. Everything Mondo does is a little pricey.
They're gonna be
They are going to cost you your arm and your leg.
so.
Oh yeah, there's Mutt.
Yeah.
Oh.
That his harness is a little tight. You
You
know?
think so?
Yeah, look at it. It's biting into his skin.
Yeah, you're supposed to be able to stick 2 fingers under a dog's harness.
Yeah, he's got that a little too tight. Yeah, I like that's a cool looking Mumra though, man. He's
But
like,
it could just be the way he's posed. And the thing is, though, it doesn't look like he's going to have any articulation, does it?
No,
you're
it doesn't
right,
look
it
like
doesn't
they're
look
joints.
that- Yeah.
Maybe the front legs. Is that like a? Maybe?
Definitely not in the shoulders.
I think
Doesn't
they're
Yeah,
just
it looks weird.
wrinkles. You know what I mean? Like maybe the head turns, but this could just be an early molded
Yeah,
prototype too. So maybe it will later, but you'll
The
lose
cool
some of that.
thing, the cool thing about the Mumra with his like little ropes and like the white wrappings and everything, it looks like when he at the beginning of the cartoon when he goes become Mumra and all the things flail all over the place. You know, it looks like that. It's really cool. I wonder if there's a wire in each one of those, or if they're that like stuck in that spot. You know.
Jonathan's saying he'd be happy if the arms and legs didn't break so easily. So I have to ask him a question. Maybe he'll post it in the chat. Who do you choose, Mondo or Super 7? All right. Anyways,
Oh,
Mega Man?
Mega Man.
Has anybody bought any of these Mega Man figures?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
They seem to
I
have a
do
lot.
like the little dude here with the hat.
I have a Mega Man figure. It's from a
You
long
do
time,
have a Mega
but
Man
it's from a
figure?
long time ago.
Oh, okay, a regular one.
There's got to be a market for those things though, because I see so many Mega
Yeah,
Man toys. You know.
yeah.
I think people like them. I mean, I'm always tempted when I see like, oh man, if I ever ran into a store, I'd definitely pick one up. But it's like ordering one is to me another level. You know what I mean?
Just don't.
Okay, so there you go. It's a cheap crap over expensive crap. So take your pick. I knew we'd get an answer like that. All right, so here are some renders. I wasn't going to put any of these renders up here, but I thought this was interesting because they're doing that Wonder Woman, original Wonder
Page
Woman
puncher.
Superboy, and then you got Mr. Bones. And I'm thinking to myself, like, these are page punchers, so they're 7-inch. And he's really got a lot of stuff coming out before that license ends, doesn't
I
it?
know he's going to be pumping them out. Yeah.
Yeah. So it just makes me think that Ross Kahn will be back on in December.
Oh yeah.
Because I found a lot of McFarlane there this year.
Didn't he have? He's got like a horse and something, right? Or something.
Yeah. So yeah,
this is it. Yep, there it is.
I think I only put one of them. There's 2 different horses, and then 2 different versions of Blood Axe. And I thought I don't know. I can't remember if I put both or if I just put this one in, but I think it's pretty cool in a way to get a horse. The horse would be a little bit bigger for your 6-inch action figures, but still kind of a cool way to get another horse, right?
You could put some like flocking or felt around the ankles and claim it's a Clydesdale.
There you go.
Then it would be the right size for your.
And then you could throw your Mythic Legions or something on top of it too.
Yeah, you could claim it's scaled to 6-inch if that's the case.
Yeah, I'm thinking it because.
But again, he's got that strap awful tight on the horse because the horse's stomach is pushing in where that strap is. You know.
Well, it's got to stay on, John. Aren't horse straps tighter than like what you would put a harness on a dog?
I don't know.
I'd imagine, but
I don't think you want to make the animal uncomfortable, though.
Well, but you want to make them feel like, yeah, I got to wear this thing and ride this guy around for like the next 27 hours.
Yeah.
All right. Blood Axe, anybody?
nah.
He looks cool, but no. Sorry.
Yeah.
Same
But
thing.
I mean, then again, if I ran into him at Ross for $5, he's coming home with me.
The thing
You know
is,
what I mean? Like,
Spawn,
yeah.
I
So-
feel like Spawn is way more popular than those multiverses in a way. That's what I feel. I just feel like just
you
this
don't see him as much.
producing Spawn. Yeah, like I think like people.
He could double down on his own IP more.
Yeah, and I think he wouldn't be losing anything, right? Like, and then he's a creator, so he could just create new Spawn characters,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And just a whole new generation, maybe one that like a Spawn dude with like kind of a blue tights, red shorts, a cape,
I mean, the unfortunate thing is like, I'm sure I'm not a Spawn fan or anything, but like I know there are Spawn fans out there.
Yeah, Judge Dredd.
But at the same time, if they had more relevancy in like mainstream media, because aren't they supposed to be working on some movie that is in,
Yeah, there's a
no
movie
man's
coming.
land, but it's in like no man's land from like pre-production, from what I understand.
Yeah.
If
Well,
they
because
can-
Todd
if they-
wants creative control over it, and he wants this time because he didn't have much control over that first movie,
Yeah.
and then the cartoon also didn't fully develop what he wanted to do. So this time it's going to come out his way, or it's not coming out.
right?
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So,
But
I'm sure he's in a fight with those executives right now.
I feel like he needs to get some like cartoon, live action TV show or movie out to really
Yeah.
enable him to go nuts with.
Well, I think nowadays,
figures.
like, so you think about that old cartoon, and like you think about these other cartoons, like Invincible or something like that, and I start thinking like there probably is a big market now for like
for adult,
for an
themed,
adult cartoon based on Spawn, right?
Mhm.
It's just got to be like drawn really well.
Yeah.
Like it's got to capture the essence of the original book, I think.
Yeah.
It just seems like a missed opportunity. I don't know what the problem is. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
How far have you guys?
There's
read
always executives at every studio that like I think the bottom line is he's gonna have to like create his own studio and do it from
Yeah.
the ground up.
Like his
and
own toy company.
that's gonna cost a buttload of money. You know what I mean? Like
No, he
that
just
might
needs to-
not be
it maybe, but like, so I don't think it's that hard to like be your own studio, if you sell a project, because you would outsource all the animation and stuff anyways.
But he really wants a live action movie though.
Oh, okay. Well,
He does.
Dan, what were you
Yeah.
asking?
You were talking about the comics. I was asking if anybody's read through. I think I got like maybe series 3, and I stopped reading.
Was it just not entertaining?
I only got the first 50. Like they're over 300 now.
Oh yeah, I think they and probably a respawn. No, it was just bad timing for me. Like it was around about that time that I started like going to school and working full time. So and then I never picked it back up. But I'd like to. I actually bought the volume 1 and 2, which is like a collection. It's not the whole like first year or so. It's just they're calling it a volume, but it's not the first run. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think with like without having the Marvel license, I think if he really pumps some more into his own IP here, man, he can. Yeah,
he can make himself more relevant, right?
Yeah, that's what I think. Anyways.
The problem is he'll be servicing people who are already Spawn fans and like toy collectors that think that's cool, but in order to hit the mass market, I think
you need a new property to drop new people. I understand that. Yeah. All right, so here is more Mondo stuff.
It looks good, but I just
yeah, they do.
Yeah.
You sure? Look at that little tiny Nightcrawler.
I mean, how can you not like that?
Oh, this is 1/6 too. Okay, I thought these were 1/12.
Yeah, I like the medieval ones myself too. I do. You can have like all kinds of weird things like goblins and giants and monsters and stuff fighting Spawn.
That's a good idea. Like, you see Raymond saying, like, if he took his same kind of property and like expanded it into like just your generic knights and
that's what I mean. Yeah, have ogres and orcs and other things that Spawn's fighting. It'd be pretty cool.
Whole new market. That is fantastic. That's a good idea. All right, we looked at these, I think, once, right?
Yeah.
But they were on, I guess, display at WonderCon, I think. So that's why.
Now, I have to ask, though, of all the Scooby-Doo fans, when I was a kid, I just knew him as Shaggy. He never had a last name Rogers. Like, when did that happen?
Yeah, that's the first time I've ever seen this, to be honest.
You don't remember the episode where him and Scooby pulled in and the girl at the hotel says, "What's your name?" And he said, "Rogers, Shaggy Rogers."
No.
Just like that.
Yeah, me neither. I don't remember that either.
His first name is Norville.
And is Scooby his first name and Doo is his last name?
No, it's hyphenated, so it's Scooby-Doo one name, right?
Oh, okay. So is he a Rogers? Who does he actually belong to?
Scooby.
If he's a pet, who's the pet?
Yeah, he belongs to Shaggy.
Or Shaggy.
So he's also a Rogers.
Okay, sure. He's Scooby-Doo Rogers. There you go.
All right.
Raggy.
Anybody going to pick these up?
No, unfortunately not.
Maybe when they show me what Scooby looks like, I might want Scooby and Shaggy.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
I do like the Mummy. He does look cool.
I would like one of those spaceman guys or something. That would be kind of neat with the glowing, or the underwater dude with the glowing skull head.
I do like the whole idea of. I would have got away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling kids and that dog.
Yeah.
All right. What about Frosty the Snowman?
Part of me thinks it would be neat though, is if there was a way to make, like, say that Frankenstein guy. So he had the Frankenstein type head, but I could pull the head off and under like a mask, like the outer layer of the head off, and under it would be the guy, without swapping heads. Without
like
swapping heads.
Oh, without swapping heads, like if it was like sort of a rubberish sort of
or something that just kind of came off.
Over. Yeah, that would.
But the heads are always two different like sizes, sculpts.
I can't imagine something like that would last long. It would.
No, it wouldn't.
Deteriorate.
But what John is talking about is true. I mean, like, it's the whole reason why the movie Face Off couldn't work.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I still wonder to this day if at the end of shooting that film, how do we know that Nicolas Cage wasn't still, you know, and Travolta wasn't still Nick Cage, and they went home to each other's separate houses, being the other
it's
person.
true. Like you don't know. It could be they didn't really like each other. They just kept the faces swapped at the end, and then they went on to their respective lives to ruin each other's acting career.
Yeah,
And they were both successful at doing it.
Yep. Because and Nick and John Travolta as Nick Cage immediately went back and sold all those comic books, that he had, and I'm sure that he's, so he started selling his cars. He's like, I'll get back at him for selling my comic collection. I'm going to sell all his cars.
I don't know what it is. Those guys just need like one role to put them back in the mainstream, right? One mainstream role, man, just not.
You should have become Superman.
All right, happy birthday, everybody! Frosty the Snowman.
I like that he comes in a TV set.
Yeah, the TV set looks pretty cool. I think I would never open that if I got it.
I know, me too. Yeah, it looks great.
He
looks just like the cartoon. That's what's funny about this one.
Yeah.
Actually, no, that's not true. I'd probably open it and use
except for that
TV to put other figures
to do other things. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, other than the big slit through his stomach, that
kind of
really has a twist.
I don't think it needs
No, I don't think it needs that. Yeah.
I think that it would be hilarious if they're using the body as a way for you to store the extra set of hands and stuff like that.
Oh, if it pops open, that'd be interesting.
Maybe it's his appendix surgery scar. How do you know?
Yeah. Who's doing this one now?
Jada.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jada. Up in the top corner of the TV.
So just Dan was talking about the van earlier, and Judge was talking about how they partnered with somebody who's doing like a custom Scooby-Doo-ish style paint. I don't think it's called the Mystery Machine though, right? It's called the
he had some other
the Mysterious Machine.
Is that what it is?
I don't know. Okay. I don't know what it's called. Anyways, how about some
Fruity
Pebbles and Cocoa Pebbles?
Wow, look at that. Do they come with the little cereal boxes? That's cool.
Yep. Yabba dabba doo.
Now I want some Fruity Pebbles, dang it.
Darn it. You could put that on your cooking channel. This is how you make a bowl of Fruity
Pebbles.
Oh, those are the boxes too. I see the
that they come in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll probably be like the open. You pull it open like those, like the Frankenberry, right? Where you got the Frankenberry and then you just open it up. So they came with the cereal boxes too, John.
Yeah.
Frankenberry. Yeah.
Yep.
Those are awesome.
All right, those are kind of cool. And then of course they had the real Ghostbusters on display.
Yeah. I think Dino is buying these though. I think
he is. He buys everything.
We'll have to look at his channel to see reviews on him when he gets.
I don't know where he's going to put them though, because according to his last video, he doesn't have any more room for anything.
Yeah, and he's starting to throw stuff away because he doesn't have enough room.
I think he was going to pack stuff up and take it to that Full Moon Toys and Collectibles and see if he could take it in and credits for trade. But I was telling
the community that he's really throwing them all in a bathtub and then melting them down.
I told him, don't take stuff you got from them back.
These look great. I wish I had space for these.
Can you imagine the views he would get if he took some of those vintage toys and just melted them down with like a blowtorch or something?
I know.
Yeah.
And then all the negative comments he'd get.
I know, but I mean, still, that would just help the analytics.
You'd get millions of views.
Yeah. All right, here's the one that they announced this week. It was the Tony the Tiger Frosted Flakes, right?
Hey, Vern. It looks great. Yeah.
They're great.
Now I want to eat some Frosted Flakes, Vern.
What?
I want to eat some Frosted Flakes now.
You should. All you got to do is go get your bowl and then just move your camera like this.
Yep.
Yeah, Tony the Tiger, man.
Yeah.
What I have is this is what I had for breakfast.
Checks. Oh yeah. That's why he's saying he wants Frosted Flakes and stuff, because he's at the age where he's not allowed to have sugar.
Exactly.
So here's what I want. I want to get this Tony the Tiger dude, and I want to do. I keep saying I want to do a stop motion. I want to do a whole fight scene where he fights these icon heroes,
Yeah.
like
Zujitsu.
cat figures. Yeah, the Zujitsus. And the problem is, Tony would probably end up having to win.
Yeah. Because Tony could do a tail bounce and then right
that's-
into him.
But probably in the little, if I were to do a stop motion, they would be fighting him. He'd be losing, and then he would have like reach out and get his bowl and take some scoops, and then all of a sudden pop up and all of a sudden be super powered, right?
Yep.
Because of his he had a good breakfast and stuff like that. Oh, and Gary's saying he can do the perfect Tony the Tiger voice.
Well, let's hear it, Gary.
They're great.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, he comes with a basketball too. That's funny.
He does?
Does he?
He's got
Mine too.
Boys, comes with everything. That's going to be a deluxe. It's going to be $75 more.
49.
All right. So if you're at Toylanta or going to Toylanta, when it's over, they have the Lieutenant Griffin, quote, the eraser in some sort of clear plastic purple. It's the Monster Force exclusive for Toylanta.
Wow.
John, can you head up there and pick one up?
I'm not going to Atlanta. Sorry.
What?
How long would it take you to get there?
Probably about 8 or 9 hours.
If you leave now, you can be.
I'd fall asleep on the drive and crash somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
WonderCon is in LA this weekend, and I seriously thought about heading up there for that, but I don't know, just not feeling it right now.
Yeah, I would like a either Dig'em mascot or the Fruit Loops, but Toucan Sam.
Yeah. The reason why this doesn't interest me at all, even though it's a cool concept and stuff, is because of that one that John picked up for me at Joe Fest and sent to me, and how it just doesn't stay together.
Well, and
right,
this one is $39.99
because of the plastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so Toyland is going on, and they were showing off some Monster Force figures, and here is the gorilla with the bandolier, and I think this other guy is the Frazzetti Death Dealer.
Yeah.
Did I say that wrong?
It doesn't look like a gorilla, though. He looks more like a Sasquatch.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
The Rambo headband.
Yeah.
Sasquatch.
Yeah, that looks like a Frazetta guy. You're
it's
right.
the Death Dealer.
Yeah.
So, anyways, those were on display
Wow.
at Toylanta. It's kind of cool that there's two big like conventions going on this weekend, right? On either side of the country. So if you're on the West Coast, I guess it would be WonderCon. If you're on the East Coast and you could head down to Atlanta, you can go to Toylanta.
Or up.
I am interested in the Monster Force dude.
Yeah.
I do like it.
Yeah, I got a couple more on pre-order.
Okay,
More
Judge
on?
Dredd said it is a Sasquatch.
Okay.
Sasquatch.
This
Yeah.
is more brown than like black hair. Yeah.
All right, but still, I think it's cool. And then
Ooh.
these guys are 1/18 scale, so they are smaller. But I like the boxes; they look kind of like
They're like
Blockbuster.
VHS. Yeah, Blockbuster
boxes, which is
VHS.
kind of cool. And
I like the ghost thing, man. He's got flames all around him.
Yeah.
That's cool.
and this other dude looks like his brain's sticking out and his skin's all torn off, and he's holding like a mask in his hand.
He says
So-
O-ring style horror action figures.
The
Huh.
O-ring style. That's pretty cool.
Also, they have whatever the point is for like a G.I. Joe, you think?
Yeah.
Or are they more articulated than that?
These ones?
Yeah.
I feel like they're going to be maybe they have a couple of extra
can-
points of articulation, but
On the glowing the blue glowing one, you can see the shoulder pins and the pin going through the elbows, so they look like G.I. Joe pins. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it just looks like the waist joint is they're doing like a jacket cover over the waist. You know what I mean?
Right. Anyways, I thought that was kind of cool. And then, of course, you guys saw the reveal for Star Wars Celebration. This is
Oh,
the
yeah.
monochrome or black and white version. Do you think it's too late?
What? No. I mean, it's certainly several years after the first Visions was released, but if they're going to find any time to sell it, Celebration in Japan is it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right,
the-
Eric. Right.
The thing that I'm just clinging to hope on is that they will still have some extra to sell on Pulse after
Yeah.
Celebration, because this is the first Black Series figure with a wired cape.
Yeah.
So-
yeah.
So from what I've seen from leaks, there's like a colored version of this that they're going to have at a later date. But that one's going to have like a soft plastic cape, not soft goods with the wire.
Huh.
So I'm hoping I can snag this. I'm obviously not going to Japan, but
Does this
really
make you
want
want to
this.
change your mind and book a trip?
I can't. I'd go if I could. My wife won't let me.
But if you said, but really, I really, really want this.
Yeah, I think I used up all my goodwill when I got the barge.
That was it.
The goodwill is resetting right now.
He's got to wait like a year. So
Yeah, I need to build some more credit in the bank.
Eric, do you know what the price was on this?
No, I have to imagine this is going to be like 50 to 80 is probably my guess.
Yeah,
I think the box is going. I think the box has some like backdrop that looks cool that comes out to help with the display with the diorama.
Yeah,
So-
I haven't seen the price.
64.99. It'll
That's your
translate
guess?
to you. That's 64.99. Yeah.
So
That's
it's right in the middle of where.
Yeah.
Or are you saying that's for sure what it is? Or
No. That's my guess. I want to guess that. Yeah.
Oh no, this is $85.
Really?
Is it?
Yeah, that's where I put it. $85.
Wow.
I mean, look, the dude's a deluxe because he comes with a wired cape. And
But they're saving on paint, so
well, I mean, or that just makes it worth more. And then the droid has a hat.
Yeah, the
It's a
droid has
deluxe.
a hat.
and a little pistol. It looks like the
Right.
Yeah.
droid's got a.
See, he's got multiple accessories, which pushes it right into the deluxe range.
I'm not a huge. They picked the right one to make a figure of. I'm glad they didn't.
Yeah,
do
they
the,
did.
I didn't like the twins one. I know a lot of people like that, but I thought that one was probably one of the weakest from the first.
This is the best one.
Season. Yeah, this is the best.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Like, because what was that speeder bike at Comic-Con?
Wasn't it? Wait, what speeder bike?
The Darth Maul with his little speeder was like $70, right?
Are those sold out? I can tell you.
Yeah, so
I
I
can't
think that
remember.
based on convention prices, I'm going to put this at upwards of 80.
It was 60.
Okay, so that's why I'm saying this is 80.
I think it'll be somewhere between 50 and 80.
Okay. All right. Well, let's hope that there's some available afterwards for people to be able to pick up, because that would be a pretty cool one. Yeah. All right. And then they did their Star Wars fan stream. They came out with these 3 figures, which were all $25 a piece on Amazon until a few hours later when they raised the price of SM33 to $35.
That
33.
SM33 looks amazing, though. The telescopic lens, that is so cool. And
and the little dude.
They have the little mouse, so you just got to put that in the eye socket and leave it alone. But that's so cool.
Will this be the first Black Series figure ever to come with a stand?
No. There was there was the Walmart Jabba's palace Luke Skywalker that had a stand, and there was a Target exclusive Luke in Stormtrooper disguise from the trash compactor with the like messy hair that had a triangle stand.
You're right.
Yeah, there were a few that came with that triangle stand that had the
Yeah.
foot that slid.
You're
It
right.
slipped
You're right.
in.
You're right.
It wasn't a peg. It was like
Yeah.
the foot
A
slipped
slip
in.
in. A
Yeah,
slip
I
in,
have a
yeah.
bunch of these little
and
disc
they don't
ones
work.
that I used to use for my my vintage Star Wars figures. That's why I thought it was interesting. So this guy will not stand up on his own without the
No, did you watch the stream?
no.
Yeah, they showed he would. They
So-
showed that he would
so-
stand up.
I was pleasantly surprised the way they were posing him
Yeah.
on the stream. They weren't really using the stand until the very end, and they had
Okay.
him in like pretty cool dynamic
Yeah.
poses
Oh,
without
okay,
the
that's
stand.
good. That's good. I'm glad to hear that then.
Yeah, it worked okay.
But maybe
Does
they did something to stiffen up the joints. Who knows what will happen when they're
When
like,
you actually get 'em?
out in the wild. Yeah, right.
All right. What about this?
And I do like him. Yeah, I think I like him extended. Like I think when I put him on display,
Oh, yeah.
he's going to be extended.
For sure. More intimidating.
what about the zombie stormtrooper? Does that helmet come off?
No, I think that's glued on.
Oh, okay.
I don't really care for these troopers that much.
I like it. I'm only getting one. I'm not like army building them because that's like one specific look,
Yeah.
right?
Right. They got to change the helmet up, maybe change the tape
The
to get.
the wrappings, yeah, right?
Yeah.
So definitely not an army builder, but I'm getting one of them. They look cool. The Ezra looks amazing though. I'm really excited to get all of these, but I'm sure you're going to have a slide coming up with the real highlight
sure.
of the stream.
I'm just curious. Where's Ezra's pistol at? His blaster.
He didn't have one.
Oh, then why does he have a trigger finger?
Yeah. Yep.
Just messing around. I think that's pretty standard.
No, yeah.
All right. Okay, and then Luke Skywalker with the this is a vintage collection. Luke Skywalker with the land speeder, which is all dinged up, which is why he didn't get as much money for it. He could have probably tried to keep this thing up. Maybe did a land speeder wash before he tried to sell it. That's always important when you're selling like a vehicle, is at least wash it and like detail it right before you.
You
take
should have
it over.
taken it to Dino's shop to get a little detailing before. Yeah.
It looks good though.
I'm very happy. I ordered one. I'm very happy with the land speeder, but I'm very not happy that it was on the wide card. I don't want my Luke on
the
wide card.
figure itself. Yeah.
But aren't you're not going to you're going to leave that figure on card?
Not anymore. I'm going to open it and throw that thing away. Yeah.
I think it's pretty good because you know what it reminds me of? It actually reminds me of the Black Series version they did for Comic-Con.
Yep.
Where
it's the same exact offering, really. They have all the same accessories.
Yeah, with the I know I didn't get the
wheels
Comic-Con one, but the
didn't they
Comic-Con
not-
one actually had more of the dinging and stuff like that than the standard release was. So I think it.
And wasn't that on a little stand instead of the wheels that?
Yes, it came with like one of
Yeah.
those little swishing stand
Yeah.
things. So this is kind of cool. It has the wheels, right? You can
Yeah,
push
like
them
the
top to
original
bottom.
vintage did.
You can recreate that old commercial of the kid with his land speeder.
Yeah.
Do it from your kitchen table and let it roll off the other side.
Yep. And crash into a million pieces on the bottom.
All right. Anyways, and then they came out with they revealed these 3 carded action figures in the vintage collection. Eric ordered all of them, multiples.
The only one I didn't get was Ventress. I don't do TVC for like Clone Wars stuff. So
okay.
I got a Dengar because I just wanted a Dengar, but Callus will go with the Ghost.
And Dan,
the
you're not a vintage collection at all, right?
Eric's got to rebuild his Goodwill.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Yep.
I dabbled when they first launched.
Yeah, you're like me. I just pick up here and there. Like if I
From the first time these guys were out, I have the Asajj Ventress. It looks exactly like that in my 3 3/4 already. I have that exact Dengar, but I did hear that this face has been updated. But
It's less paint, less weathering.
yeah, but the Dengar that is in my they're all loose. So she's loose in my bad guy part of like dark side user lightsaber guys, and then he's with my bounty hunters. So I didn't order them, but I'll tell you, if I see them when they're out, there's a chance I could grab them if I have the money at the moment that I see them, just to have them on card this time.
There was a sitcom that didn't last very long, but it was a comedy, and the idea was that this dude in the show was just super clumsy, like everything like went wrong, and it was like he was meeting his like fiance's parents or something for the first time, and like he knocks over one of the oil paintings in the basement and then starts a fire, and like it's just crazy stuff like that, accidents, whatever. And the reason I'm telling the story is because I think that a Star Wars property, we had talked about this before about Star Wars properties. I think like a half-hour comedy about Dengar would be hilarious, leading up to why he's wrapped up like that in Empire Strikes Back, right? Like this whole thing where he's just like a normal bounty hunter and stuff, but just goes through this period of like extreme clumsiness. And he's basically wrapped up, and he has to like escape from the hospital when he gets the word that like, hey, there's a huge bounty that the Empire's put in. He's like, that I don't want to miss out. So he's kind of showing up with his like head wraps and stuff like that because he didn't want to miss out on the opportunity.
It'd be like if basically give him like the Bane treatment from the Harley Quinn cartoon on Max. But they kind of did that actually with the Star Wars Detours, which never came out. If you watch the like trailers or leaked footage, Dengar was supposed to be like a joke of a character, kind of like that, if I remember correctly.
Well,
yeah, I just think it would be funny, but
I think Callus looks good, but yeah.
I think they all are fine. Okay, and then of course, finally,
that's the best one. Yeah,
Carson Teva finally gets Black Series. It's not a Black Series, so it's like it's not like I'm gonna get it.
You're not gonna get this.
I don't collect vintage collection.
I ordered 2.
So I got
one.
Yeah, I got 2. I had to support this because I'm sure they're going to make it in Black Series at some point. But I was so excited and so happy for Paul.
Here's the thing. If I thought that I was going to have a chance to like go get his autograph at like a convention or something like that, right? By the time this is out, I might say, oh yeah, definitely I'll pick this up because this is the figure that I would actually get autograph on. I wouldn't do a Black Series because there's really no place on the box to sign it, right?
The card back is better.
On his picture on the card, it's easy to put up in a case and stuff like that. So maybe I get one for that possibility, right? But other than that, like I'm not really a vintage collection, so but I thought it was pretty good that he finally got his figure. So
yeah,
you know what's funny on this? It's so easy to like, no disrespect to TVC people. I obviously buy some TVC, right? Like I get vehicles and play sets and whatnot, but I'm mainly Black Series because Black Series is just better to play with, more detail, better articulation and whatnot. But like on all of the Hasbro posts, I was basically just kind of tongue-in-cheek trolling TVC people saying like, oh, I'm so happy that this came out, but we really need this in at least this look in Black Series because balance the scales and all that jazz, so
right.
I really pissed off some TVC people on social media with some of that, so that was funny.
I did like the fact that they let him come on and show his figure and that he was able to explain his patch that he designed. So I thought that was
it was, if they didn't do that, it would have been such a huge missed opportunity. So credit to Hasbro for doing the right thing.
And I think that stuff, now that I think about like what happened on that Katie Sackhoff podcast where they were talking about it
I
and
wonder if
recent
he knew that.
conversations. Yeah, he had to have known, and so they were kind of sort of feeding the little engine, right? Of
Maybe.
Yeah.
Don't know
It
the
depends
timeline.
on
I
how
can't
long
remember
ago
how.
they scanned his face.
yeah.
Well, they scan his face when he does the like shooting, when he's in costume and whatnot. So that would have been ages ago, right? Like,
Yeah. So Raymond saying we need an X-wing, and I honestly thought that they were going to announce this figure along with an X-wing, but
Yeah.
make it either a crowdfund or one of those timed reveal release things. That's what I thought.
Because wait, no, didn't they do the X-wing with the blue?
no, it was Antok Merrick's X-wing from Rogue One, and then they did the E-wing from Ahsoka.
Yeah.
And how much different is the X-wing with the blue stripes that he uses? compared to the
I've
one
been
that's already out?
compared. I'm sure it's similar. They're going to use the same mold, but if we're going to be honest, right?
Because what I'm saying is, couldn't you just get that X-wing and put this guy in it? The blue stripes are the same, as far
I'm
as
sure-
I can tell. But
I'm sure-
Why a blue striped X-wing? I thought I guess he does, huh?
yeah, it
Yeah.
is. I thought it had the blue
I
stripes.
don't think it's exact. I'm not sure it's exactly the same as.
It's probably different.
the
Yeah,
Blue Squadron one. But,
yeah, it probably is a little bit different. You're right.
and he has a green astromech where Antok Merrick's is like half blue, half red.
Yeah, but that's a separate piece, anyways. It's not.
Yeah. No.
All right, so that was pretty good. I'm glad they finally got a figure. Hopefully, we'll get the Black Series 1 coming up. Here are some G.I. Joe classified series that got released within the last couple of weeks when we weren't on. So we got the flamethrower guy, which is named Blowtorch, right, John?
Yeah, but I didn't order him because he looks weird.
Okay, and then the High-Ally G.I.
Yeah, I
Joe.
was going to say,
Yep,
is he playing
yeah.
Hyla?
And
What's
I
it
didn't
called
order
again?
that guy because he's beyond what I collected as a kid.
Okay, so you're not into High-Ally at all. So
No.
yeah, okay.
But he looks
Oh,
great. I mean, for people who do want this stuff, I mean, it looks fantastic, I think. Yeah.
So I wonder if this. I got to look at the timing of this. This Highlight was. Do you think this came out around the time that Miami Vice was popular? Because that's what I remember Highlight from the opening sequence of Miami Vice.
Maybe.
All right,
I might
Highlight
have
is
to. I might have to wait. I think with blowtorches, I might have to wait till he's out because he does have that. Is that other? That's an alternate helmet. That's yellow.
Looks like it,
Is that
yeah.
the deal?
I think
Because
so.
maybe with that alternate helmet or something, he might look like the original more. But they've been doing so good with making all the figures look like the original from when we were kids that I'm like, why did they decide to make this one so drastically different? Because even the Highlight Trooper looks a lot like the one we had as a kid. But then
They had no choice with that one because otherwise people weren't going to get it.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know.
Off on a tangent, but if you ever see a beer called Highlight, it's worth trying. It's from a brewery in Tampa called Cigar City.
Okay.
It's a good beer.
And then the collector says that they still play it in Florida. I'm sure they do. I mean, like, it looks like a very interesting game. We used to have those little rackets that you would put the ball in, and then it was kind of like that, and you would throw it like that, and then the ball would go across, and you'd catch them like that.
Mhm.
I don't know if those things were designed from that game. You know what I mean? Just to be a backyard wiffle ball thing. Who's this guy on the left, John? I know this other one's Footloose,
Darkon.
right? Yeah,
Darkon. Yeah.
What a weird outfit. He's got like tiger
I know.
stripe green camo, but then like red and yellow pants.
Yeah.
That's so nobody can see him in the forest. From
And he
the
looks, and he actually looks a lot like the original toy too. So it's like, yeah.
Now,
And Footloose, you technically have to use without the helmet to make him look like the original cartoon.
the Footloose
But he's pretty much there.
figure, I think, is a pretty universal. I mean, I think he'd be worth getting like a few of them, especially if you like to customize. John doesn't want to hear this, but like you can do head swaps and stuff like that and have like a team.
Yeah.
And, you know, if I wanted to do like my I mean, that to me, that outfit is just kind of classic.
Standard. Yeah.
Is this the one that? Is this the one where they had the RPG in the wrong end?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. But yeah, Footloose is basically a screw up. He didn't wear the helmet at all, even though Sergeant Slaughter would yell at him about being safe and stuff, and he almost got shot at one point. It zinged right past him, you know.
Yeah.
And yeah, Footloose just laid around and stuff. He's funny.
And then
This looks awesome. This
and
looks
then
so
the Hulk
cool.
Buster. I mean, the
Yeah.
I was tempted to get it, but I wasn't sure how tall it would be and if it would fit in my little section of Joe's.
looks like it's about almost 12 inches, probably.
Yeah, because he's big enough to climb on that thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, he's right. Collector's right. It's Destro's cousin. I knew he was related to Destro. Darklon or whatever. Yeah.
The coolest thing about this is it can open and the figure can be inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what
The
makes
original toy was that way.
that's
the
what makes
figure
this
inside.
100%
This is-
worthwhile.
It's like I'm not sure if anyone played that video game that was popular several years ago, Titanfall. It kind of
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. I just
It
think
looks like the arms have elbow joints, but I don't know if they quite go 90 degrees. It looks like they're
Maybe
well,
not.
regardless,
Yeah.
right? Like if you look at that and compare it to like what like say Gridiron did with the arms on their little thing that you attach the trouble bubble to. I'm not going to grab it because I got stuff in front of it. The arms are like bent a little bit, right?
yeah, they might
But
might
they
not go
don't
fully
have
straight either, right?
Elbow
Yeah.
movement, yeah. But this
Yeah.
one does look like the elbow will move back and forth, at least on the clawed hand or whatever. So it looks like you'll have some range of motion, and I can't imagine.
And you can see the knee joints in the behind that the one leg that's pulled down. So
yeah,
it's
and
going to
that's
have
why-
knee and elbow joints, but you're right. They might not move a full 90 degrees even. They might just have limited like 30 degrees of movement or something, you know?
right. That's
Yeah.
what I think they missed the opportunity on this guy is to make him open up so you can
Yeah.
see Steve Rogerson because they had that toy box version that did, and it had
Yeah.
the little Rogers in there, right? But I wish they would have done that with this. They could have made this a little bit bigger and did something where at least, you know, maybe there was a Steve in there,
Yeah.
right?
Oh
Even
yeah,
though-
Jonathan, I don't think there's any ankle movement at all. No forward and back or left and right. I don't think there's any ankle movement.
You don't think so? You
I know
think that's why they
it
put the
looks
duct
it looks
there
like
to
a
hide
pivot.
it?
It could, but I mean, I don't know. It's
Because that
It looks
one
like
leg
it
was
just
like
pivot.
its back.
yeah, but
doesn't-
there's an explosion in front of its foot to show where the foot's going. You know what
Yeah,
I
I'd
mean?
have to look at more pictures to see, but I feel
Yeah.
like the knee and the ankle's gonna move a little bit.
But when was this on? I never saw this go for sale. You guys are acting like it was already on.
It was on Pulse for a while.
I never
Yeah.
saw it.
Sold
I
out.
would have bought it if I saw it was on. But
Yeah, that day
well.
it went up on Pulse and it sold out almost. Actually, it was.
No,
up there for
it took a
2
while.
hours.
It,
Yeah,
it took a while. I pondered getting one, but I just passed.
yeah, I would have got one, but I never saw it go up. So,
Alright.
I'm sure they'll reissue it.
I think I kind of caught up. I don't know if what I missed because I've been like looking and not looking and looking and not looking. So, but anyways, what else you guys got going on before we call it a day?
I'll be on Stu's Star Wars trivia tomorrow, competing in the second
Oh,
round.
that's nice. Okay.
we have over on the Super Awesome Science and Mysteries channel. I got a return email from MUFON, the Mutual UFO Network, and they're going to send a representative to be on a live stream with us and talk about the latest with UFOs and UAPs and what the MUFON organization does.
Cool.
Sometime in April. We don't know
Okay.
which day yet, but we're still nailing down which day to do it, but we will do it in April.
Nice. Dan, what do you got going on? Anything?
Not a thing.
No, me either. Got a couple of videos that I just did. I did the one on the Red Sonja. I did a comparison of 4 vehicles. It was a little difficult to like film because they're all big.
Big.
Yeah.
but I did weigh them after all. I put them up on my community page, and it was interesting because between the vamp and that gridiron, there's like almost 1.5 pounds difference in weight. And the vamp is much lighter than the gridiron one. And that is mainly because of the 3D plastic, right? It's like solid 3D plastic.
Wow.
And the thing is, like, so the way that makes me worry is like the vamp, if I dropped it, I feel like because of the injection molded plastic, it wouldn't immediately shatter into pieces. It might withstand a little bit of the brunt and maybe it ding it a little bit. But that gridiron's, because it's 3D printed plastic, I think if it hit the ground, it would just break.
It would just
Interesting.
obliterate, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
What was it? Somebody was.
Red Sonja. He wants to.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. Overall, I don't have anything negative to say. Too much negative. I'm going to try to swap around on that little barbell piece just to see if I can find another neck piece from another figure that will set the neck a little bit lower. But that's about it. All right.
Nothing in Vern's collection is going to be able to be resold when he dies.
Everything will. You just put it back together the way it was.
If you can figure it out.
Let me tell you something. I could turn this around right now. Probably I'll just list this, John, for $150 and see our best offer and see what I get.
There you go. There you go.
Somebody would want
You'll be investigated for like money laundering for something like that.
who doesn't want Jan Michael Vincent?
An original
From
Stringfellow Hawk. Yeah, an original Stringfellow Hawk. I mean, come on.
Come on.
Yeah.
Or Ernest Borgnine figure. Come on.
Uh-huh.
Oh my
can
god,
also-
the eyebrows.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
That's cool. Yeah.
Hey, man.
All right.
I joke because I'm gonna have those eyebrows.
Well, mine are getting.
You're
Oh,
going
look at
to?
Oh yeah, like they're
I'm
getting bigger and like pointing up. Maybe not quite as much as Ernest
Yeah.
Borgnine, but
You were up there,
Look at
man.
those things. Look at those things.
Yeah, Mod Extra. I think I said that like in my review, the head sculpt is not like the original render at all. But I mean, each of the heads though are fairly decent. I mean, it is what it is, right? Like I guess when you make a 3D render, it's impossible to like make it exactly, but I think they did a pretty good job. All right, what do you guys? I think that's it. I think we covered everything.
We got them all.
just about.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time on the Toy Duo Team.
Bye
You
bye.
have a plastic addiction and your shelves are overflowing. When you don't know what new is coming, but you fear you might miss out. Just sit right back, just relax and watch you listen. The Toy Duo Team brings you what you need. It's a Toy Duo.